सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक में भारत पाकिस्तान के बढ़ते तनाव पर रशिया भारत के साथ।
The region, and I would like to present developments as an episode that is regretful, that deserves regret, and we have to praise both sides.
रशिया ने शांति वार्ता का प्रस्ताव रखा और कहा कि हमें आतंकवाद का मुकाबला मिलकर करना है।
Mr. Ponsley said in Pakistan there is this notion, there is the understanding that there is a deep state in Pakistan, there, apart from civilians, which are the secret services that influence the situation in the country, and it's hard to say who has the upper hand, whether the civilians or the deep state has the upper hand. So, but they are intertwined. When the Indian Air Force struck against terrorists in Pakistan, but in response, Pakistan views this as an infringement of its sovereignty, and the reply comes from the Pakistani army, so the Pakistani authorities, not the terrorists. And the problem is that the Pakistan state is very complex. You can talk as much as you want with the Pakistani government, but it is not obvious that these talks will help improve relations between India and Pakistan, because terrorists are directed in their actions not by the civilian government, but initially the secret services and the ISI worked with the terrorists. So if we look at this terrorist group, Jaish-e-Mohammed, this is a terrorist group that has close contacts with ISI, and but it is now out of control since the early 2000s, and now they are conducting terrorist attacks. So this is a very complex issue, because there's a need to find a way to come to an agreement with this deep state. Well, theoretically, the SCO has this regional anti-terrorist structure that was designed to coordinate the efforts of special services in all the member states in fighting terrorism. But the fact that one secret service accuses the other secret service, intelligence service, of supporting terrorists, so in this situation the SCO counter-terrorist structure will not be effective, because we need to find a way to bring these intelligence services of both countries to the negotiating table and to guarantee transparency of what is happening in Pakistan and Kashmir. So it is hard for me to tell how can this be done, so this should be probably a matter of lengthy debates, and it will take months and probably years to come to an agreement. Judging by the latest reports, we're seeing a de-escalation in the relations. The Pakistani ambassador will return to Delhi and the Pakistani delegation will visit Delhi very soon to continue talks on overcoming this crisis, and hopefully this will help promote de-escalation. So thank you so much.
इस अवसर पर एम्बेसडर केपी फेबिन और ब्रिगेडियर रिटायर राहुल के भोसले ने बताया,
I think at this stage it's important to look at some ground realities. One is that policy towards India, Pakistan's policy towards India is determined not by the civilian government but by the army. Second, ground reality. It is true that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism. Third, but terrorism originating from Pakistan directed against India occurs only with the knowledge and consent of the state of Pakistan, in this case the Pakistan Army or the ISI. So these are the basic ground realities, and we have to bear them in mind. And I do not know whether now, sort of extending it to Afghanistan and all that, would really help. But the basic question is, how do we convince Pakistan to stop using terrorism as an instrument of policy? I personally think that as reports go, the government of Pakistan is seriously considering it, and some action has been taken against Jaish-e-Mohammed and other terrorist organizations. Now, there is a tendency in India among some commentators that it's only cosmetic. Well, it's easy to be cynical, but I think it will be wiser to give the benefit of the doubt, and when you see that Pakistan is taking the right action, to encourage them. And it was mentioned that the Pakistani High Commissioner will be coming back to Delhi, and I sincerely hope that the Indian High Commissioner will be going back to Islamabad very, very soon.
As far as the military situation is concerned, I think both countries are today at a stage where we are looking at de-escalation from the military situation. Particularly, I can talk more about India. I think India is willing to sort of de-escalate at present. Firstly, India was not willing to use military force. And as military force had to be used, given that there was no other option which was available to India to target this terrorist group, Jaish-e-Mohammed, which has had a big camp, as you know, in Balakot in Pakistan. And there was information that this group was planning to carry out a preemptive terrorist attack in a number of parts in India. So under the situation, to target that particular group, after having shared the information with Pakistan, no action being taken by Pakistan, India had to perforce go in for this military action, which it was specifically stated is not against Pakistan, it was against terror. In fact, our foreign minister made a very categorical statement that this was against terror. Now, the point at issue is that we are using a preemptive strike against terror, and in reaction to that, Pakistan violated our line of control and carried out certain military attacks. We have all know of the situation now. But as I feel today, I am quite confident that we are looking at a situation where the military de-escalation has taken place or is taking place. So I do not visualize any more military actions, at least from the Indian side. I do not visualize any more military actions taking place. So this is a time, as Ambassador Fabian very correctly said, this is a time for the diplomacy to come into play. And how diplomacy can come into play, we'll have to wait and see, because there are various options which are available. Now, as far as the two principal issues have come on the table so far, one is the issue of Kashmir. Now, as all of us know, and even the experts in Moscow, they are very well aware of the Kashmir issue. India has always tried to engage with all the internal interlocutors in Kashmir. India has even had dialogue with Pakistan on Kashmir. I don't know how many of us remember or know about it, but we have a comprehensive dialogue process which we had carried on till 2014. In this process, we were engaging apart from various other issues, including terrorism, Kashmir. However, the problem comes when instead of engaging in the political dialogue, if a state opts to use terror as a weapon to resolve this Kashmir issue, then obviously India finds itself at a back to the wall. And that is where I think India had proposed from time and again, let us resolve, let us talk and resolve even the terrorism issue. But Pakistan has not shown no willingness towards that. And that is where I think the status is today. So ultimately, if you want to carry out any diplomatic measures, they will have to understand, they will have to address the primary issue of terrorism that has been fostered from Pakistan. As all of us know, terrorism today has got many dimensions. One is a global terrorism. The one is a terrorism which is internal in nature. But I think the most dangerous terrorism is the one where a state actor uses terror as a weapon to resolve the political issues. And this is exactly what India sees Pakistan to be doing. And that is where I think India's major concerns are, which have to be addressed in a very holistic manner. Now, how to address it? I think Russia, before that, let me say that Russia has also faced a major terrorist challenge in Chechnya, and today, fortunately, you have overcome that particular challenge. But you must understand the difference between the terrorism in Chechnya and the terrorism which is happening in Kashmir. In Chechnya, there was no state support to terrorism. It was an international issue and it was resolvable. But in Kashmir in particular, there is a state support from Pakistan to terrorism, and that is why we are finding the problem of resolving this whole issue. And Ambassador Trupnikov has already highlighted the background to that particular thing with this deep state, as they call in Pakistan, is very strong, that is the army and the ISI. Now, let me come on to the last point which I would like to touch and which many speakers have already touched, how to go about diplomatically using the mechanism or organization of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization to resolve this particular issue at this point of time and allow and facilitate, I would say, India and Pakistan to come on board to resolve this issue of terrorism and possibly even Kashmir. Now, firstly, we all know that it took a long time for India and Pakistan to be made members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, because SCO is an organization which does not want to have any bilateral conflicts on its table, in its forum. But now that both India and Pakistan have been made members of the SCO, and I think we have to be thankful particularly to Russia and President Putin, who took special initiatives in the last so many years to put India on the table along with Pakistan. How to go make use of the SCO to resolve this issue, I think this is something which will require a deeper thought. Because to my mind, and please correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time that SCO is facing a challenge where two countries are in a hostile situation, where two countries are facing a military challenge against each other. I do not visualize or do not remember at least when SCO has faced such a problem. Now, under the circumstances, how does SCO facilitate a dialogue process? How does SCO carry out the de-escalation measures? How does SCO contribute to ensuring that this conflict resolution mechanisms come into place? Today, I think SCO is, though it has a terrorism mechanism, but this sort of a situation, I don't think the SCO is prepared or even it is willing to address, but whether it is prepared, does it have the mechanisms, does it have the instruments to resolve this? I'm not very sure. Please do correct me if I'm wrong.
NBC से खास बातचीत में कहा कि
Sir, what you suggest in the tension between the India and Pakistan?
See, the tension between India and Pakistan basically comes from the fact that Pakistan occasionally has been using terrorism as an instrument of policy towards India. Now, such use of terrorism as part of policy is harmful not only to India but also to Pakistan, because it has been said that Pakistan also is a victim of terrorism. But there is a difference in the sense that the terrorism originating from Pakistan against India cannot originate without the knowledge and approval of the authorities there. So one should not confuse and say that Pakistan is also a victim. Yes, but that's a different matter, So I think Pakistan has to be convinced, the decision makers, as I said, have to be convinced that it's not good neither for Pakistan nor for the rest of the world. Now, it's not easy to convince them, but that doesn't mean we should give up.
So what message you are giving to the Pakistan PM?
No, I personally welcome what Prime Minister Imran Khan has done, that is releasing the wing commander. And also he's saying that he has been trying to talk to Prime Minister Modi, because in life, as in diplomacy, one has to talk. It is not a question of whether to talk or not. The more important question is what to talk. When you sit down, what to talk. And I think that talking is important. And that's why I said, let's hope that official talks will be there. The people are talking. As you know, there were many people in Pakistan who said we want peace, and there were many people in India too. So people are talking, but we need official talking also. But I'm sure it will happen. It has to happen.
देखिए, पाकिस्तान इस समय एक बहुत गंभीर समस्या में पड़ा हुआ है। मैं मिलिट्री समस्या की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं उनकी अपनी अंदरूनी इकोनॉमिक समस्या की बात कर रहा हूँ। उस इकोनॉमिक समस्या में पाकिस्तान, उनके प्राइम मिनिस्टर आज दुनिया भर में दौड़ रहे हैं। कभी सऊदी अरेबिया जा रहे हैं, कभी चीन जा रहे हैं, कभी मलेशिया जा रहे हैं कि हमें कोई इकोनॉमिक मदद दो। ऐसी हालत में आपने एक और फ्रंट खोल रखा है जो टेररिज्म फ्रंट है। वो टेररिज्म फ्रंट सिर्फ इंडिया के खिलाफ नहीं है, वो टेररिज्म फ्रंट जो है वो ईरान में भी उन्होंने खोल रखा है, वो उन्होंने अफ़गानिस्तान में तो सबको दुनिया को पता है खोला है, और मुझे तो शंका है कि चीन में भी जो सिंकियांग का जो प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है उसमें भी पाकिस्तान का कोई हाथ हो। तो मैं उतना यही कहना चाहूँगा कि आपको इतनी ज़्यादा इकोनॉमिक समस्या है तो आप इन सारे गलत फ्रंट्स खोल के आप अपने आप को एक खाई में, जैसे बोलते हैं हिंदी में, खाई में आप ढकेल रहे हो अपने आप को। इसका एक बहुत सीधा रास्ता है। आप इकोनॉमिक जो रिलेशंस इंडिया के साथ, अगर ये टेररिज्म ख़त्म करके आप इकोनॉमिक रिलेशंस इंडिया के साथ खोलते हो तो हमारा जो ट्रेड इंडिया और पाकिस्तान के बीच का है वो करीबन 20-25 US बिलियन डॉलर्स प्रति साल हो सकता है। अफ़गानिस्तान का ट्रेड पाकिस्तान के थ्रू इंडिया में आएगा तो एक इकोनॉमिक उनको बूम मिलेगा। तो ये इकोनॉमिक अपनी बूम को आप टेररिज्म के वजह से ख़राब कर रहे हो और अपना पूरा दुनिया में आपके बदनामी हो रही है। एक सिंपल सॉल्यूशन मैं बोल रहा हूँ, अगर आप ये करेंगे तो ना कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान, बट पाकिस्तान की खुद अंदरूनी हालत भी अच्छी हो जाएगी।
सर, आपने कई लड़ाइयाँ लड़ी हैं देश के लिए। ये बताइए कि जिस तरह से उसमें विंग कमांडर को हमारे भारत को वापस सौंपा और उसके बाद 44 आतंकी को, उसका कहना है पाकिस्तान का कि हमने उनको गिरफ्तार किया है, उसको आप किस नज़र से देख रहे हैं?
देखो, विंग कमांडर साहब को वापस करना इज़ नेचुरल, बिकॉज ये जिनीवा कन्वेंशन के तहत उनको वापस, वो लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट है। वो कोई बहुत बड़ा पीस का उन्होंने और या डी एस्केलेशन जैसे बोलते हैं वो नहीं किया है, वो लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो पूरी की है। दैट इज़ दूसरा ये बोल रहे हैं कि हम सारे इनको गिरफ्तार किया है, उनको प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन दिया है। प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन 10 दिन के लिए किया हुआ है। अभी जब हमने इंडिया में पूरे सबूत उनको दिए हुए हैं तो हम कुछ जोर एक्शन चाहिए। और इसमें जो क्या है, जो इनका मेन लीडर है मसूद अज़हर तो अभी तक कुछ एक्शन उसके खिलाफ नहीं लिया है। मसूद अज़हर के खिलाफ अगर कुछ एक्शन ले, उनको अगर डिटेंशन करे या कुछ करे, तब हम मानेंगे कि पाकिस्तान सीरियस है।
सब्सक्राइब करें NBC हिंदी को और बेल आइकन को दबाइए लेटेस्ट अपडेट्स के लिए।